In this tutorial, we'll model a simple end table 3D model and apply the end table texture from the GIMP project. Go back to your GIMP project and turn off everything except the wood-based texture, and we'll make a copy of it. And paste as new image. I'll just resize it here. Now it's still at 500 by 500. I want to add 1024 by 1024 pixels. And this is for resizing the canvas. And we'll go to layer to image size. Now, if you go to bucket fill, the clipboard should still have the wood-based texture, and just paste it. It'll tile seamlessly. Go back to your GIMP end table project and flatten the image into one layer, and we'll copy it. Go back to the wood-based texture untitled project and paste as new layer. And we got the end table pasted in the top left corner. And I merged that down as well into one layer. And save it as, I'll pick a name, end table texture for 3D Max. We'll save this as a GIMP XCF file format, project file format, and then we'll save it again as a TGA in a sec here. Save as, and then we'll just select file type by extension and go down to TGA, and it'll have a .tga on it. And save that. That'll be the texture for your 3D model. Okay, now onto 3ds Max. It's quite simple. We'll just create a box, select a cube, and just center it in the screen, and we'll convert it to editable poly. And get all the viewports set up here. And in polygon mode, we have to turn on the edges first. You can see what we're doing, and then extrude just a bit, and then we'll go to the scale, and in the XYZ we'll scale out a bit for a bottom bevel, and then we'll choose bevel, and we'll bring that up, drag it up a bit and bevel the top, And that's it for the model. Okay, now that we got the model done, we need to go to the modifier list and select the unwrap UVW modifier, and go to edit, and that'll bring up the edit UVWs. And I usually turn off the grid and the extra tiling I don't really like. And go to face, and we can select, uncheck ignore back facing, and we can group select all the boxes, and then the top. That leaves everything except for the rims, and we'll stick with the boxes right now. Go to normal mapping in the edit UVWs window, box mapping, and just move it to the side. We have to move it outside the checkered box area. Now we'll do the rims. And again, we're in face, sub-object mode and unwrap. And we'll go to each top rim and quick planar map. Just click the quick planar map button, and they'll stack up on each other, all four of them. And they can share the same texture space. It won't matter. And I'll show you that there's actually four of them. Then I'll undo this, make it go back to one stack. And I'll select it and just move it outside the checkered box. Now we have to go and do the bottom rim polys. And there's just four of them, and we'll do the same thing, and they'll stack up on each other. There's four of them. Quick planar map for each one. And group select those four and move them outside the box again. And we'll scale things back into the box once we're done here. Actually, we are all done. As you can see, the box has all the green lines are all connected. So we have all the parts mapped out. We just have to add the TGA texture. Go to Material Editor, pick the first material slot, and go down to Diffuse, and click the button there, and under bitmap parameters, click the bitmap. It'll have none there, and then you just go to your TGA texture. Now this name is a bit different from the one that I just typed in earlier, but it's the same. It's the same texture. And you open that, and then you see the material slot now has the the texture in it. Now you just have to click the Show Standard Map and Viewport button after you drag the material slot onto the model. And you can see that the texture isn't all lined up yet, but we'll fix that soon. Now we'll change well, first of all we'll go to the UV drop down list and go to Reset Texture List, so that we can it'll load the TGA you can see there, and then we can load that in, but it's low res, so down in the bottom left corner we'll put in 1024 by 1024, and we'll get that looking right. Okay, select a face that'll be the door, and we'll just use the uniform transform, and we'll just size it in there. And all the other sides of these boxes can just be stacked up on each other. They're going to share the same pixel space anyways. Okay, now for the rims, we'll just group select them and scale them and move them and scale them to about the same width as the other box sides of the end table. Let's scale these parts up, especially the boxes, to match the size of the door box. Okay, if we zoom in on the model, it might be kind of a low-res texture. In the menu, you can go to in the preferences and go to viewports, and under display drivers, configure driver, and make sure the match bitmap size as closely as possible is checked. And then you go back to material editor and double click the viewport button, and it should look like that. Let's add a in the modifier list an edit poly, so get rid of the green lines, turn off the edged faces. You can see the shadows look a bit too dark there. We can change that by going to self illumination in the material editor and bring that up to 50, and we get a get it looking a bit better. And that's it for this tutorial.